Hello, welcome to On Point for Monday, December 16th. I'm Andy Martins. It's great that you're along, and the year is running out on us. The best of On Point has been selected. We'll have the shows from October 28th, Katie Elliott, December 3rd, Jessica Tett, November 5th, Tara Maskahevich, and this one with Tami Rydall, and that comes up right after these messages. How's that? Welcome back to On Point. I'm glad you're back with us on Monday, December 16th. We're live on TV. We're live on Facebook, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce a really good friend of mine. She has starred in the Sault Ste. Marie's only soap opera. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. And as mentioned in the intro, this show is going to be part of the best of On Point in 2019, which will be shown during the holidays. I wanted to bring in Tami Rydall, and she's in the same studio with me at Christmas Street. Welcome to the show, Tami.
Thank you so much for having me, Andy.
You mentioned before the show you always wanted to sit behind this
right
desk.
Here in the studio, exactly.
You've got 5 lovely daughters. I wanted to send out a shout out to Victoria, who I probably know the best. I know Sarah as well, and you've got 5 wonderful daughters.
Thank you.
Let's start out with this, Tami. You and I go back to 2004, Toastmasters, a long time ago. I've lived in my current house for 15 years. Sioux News, we started 10 years ago, 1 week apart on Sioux News. What led you to wanting to be in television at that point 10 years ago?
Well, you know what? As a little girl, I always had a dream of being either a model or on TV.
Right.
Although I was too short to be a runway model, but it ended up through, being really dedicated to my dream. And I ended up modeling a little bit for in Toronto, and then for the Nygaard Company. Mm-hmm. And then when that ended, it just so happened that I had Julie Herenowitz-Hache get a hold of me. She had a show, and they were in radio format, then going into TV format, and she couldn't make a show, so she called and asked me to fill in for her, and that was the beginning of it.
Right, yeah, I remember that. Were you little? That was really the early days. You remember those early days at Wellington Square?
I know.
The infancy of internet TV.
And I also have to thank Craig Huckerby for it, because he's seen something in me that I didn't even see in myself. You know, you can have hopes and dreams, but can you really do it when you're in those shoes?
Exactly, and people don't realize there's a lot of prep to getting it done. And
well, yeah, and there's a lot of fear. I mean, personally, I'm like, sure, I had a dream, but can I actually do this? And Craig was good enough to let me call the show Winging It, because I said I'll try it out, and because I'm going to make mistakes. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a try, and if we call it Winging It, then I'll try it. And I did.
Exactly. It's not for everybody, really. Once they get out there, people think it's easy, but once they get in there and they, oh no, you know. But how did the Toastmasters experience that you and I were in Toastmasters 2004, 2005, how did that help you when you got to the TV piece of that?
Toastmasters was a huge help for me, because one of my biggest fears was public speaking. But the one thing that I learned during that time was that speech, that word, was what was intimidating to me.
Right.
When I took the word speech out of it and just thought, well, I'm just sitting here talking to a bunch of people, which I always had an easy time speaking and connecting with people, then it made me a lot more comfortable. So to this day, I still have to take the word speech out, and I have more comfort with it.
It's sort of takes a while. That's why Toastmasters is a good training ground for a lot of different things, isn't it?
Absolutely. If anybody has a thought of going and trying Toastmasters, just to give you more confidence, and it's great just to help for everyday conversation. So it was a really good experience for me.
Great. Let's get to the soap opera now, because a lot of people have stopped me in various places, and the Sioux had its own soap opera. Take us inside to the early days. How did that start?
Well, I was interviewing with Local 2, and I had done 7 seasons, I believe, interviewing. And then the very last show of my 7th season, we decided to just do something fun. Dallas was coming out again. I used to watch Dallas when I was young.
I did too. Yeah,
loved it.
Not slamming.
Yeah, and so anyway, you know, that year when it was Who Shot JR was so huge.
Right.
So we had an idea, why don't we do Who Shot Tami, just because it was coming out again. And it was a joke, it was fun. After that though, Local 2 had so many people calling in and saying you should continue this. So Craig and I talked about it, and we decided that we would give it a shot. And again, no acting experience, and I would say I was horrible. But you know what? It takes confidence to go out and put yourself out in front of the public and learn right in front of the public. And you know what? I thought, I want to inspire people, so if I don't take the chance and put myself out there, and I know I'm not really good, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to improve. If I don't do that, then what am I teaching my daughters? You know, I don't want to give up on my dream, and I want to show them that I put myself out there even when I know I'm not the best, but it doesn't mean I can't improve. And that was the real part that was in me that made me want to continue it as well. And Craig Huckerby was a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's right. He was. And remember, his venues were LTV, Sioux News, and Local 2 during those years. What were the biggest challenges of producing this show? It's a lot, putting 26 cast members, or however many they were, coordinating all that.
Well, we started with 5, and I had a little bit of experience producing my own talk show. It was absolutely nothing compared to what we stepped into, and I didn't have any knowledge. Again, producing it, that was a learning curve for me as well. We started out with 5 cast members, and then it just continued to grow as the storyline grew, and then the workload grew, and it was just with Craig and I that were doing the entire show. But I have to say, it was the best thing that ever happened, because that opportunity and the experience that I had led me to another opportunity, at this time in my life.
Right.
Had I not done that, and I volunteered for 14 years in media here because I was so passionate about it, but I was also wanting to learn and put myself out there. And I have to say, what I learned through the Tami show behind the scenes was such a gift. And the
Right.
people the cast members, and, so the amount of work that it was, I'm glad that I did it one step at a time, because if I had thought about what was going to happen, I wouldn't have been able to think about it. I don't know if I would be able to do it all at once if I knew the amount of work, but it was so wonderful.
Was it more or less than what you thought it was at the beginning? Did you know that it was going to be a lot of work?
Absolutely not. You just take something one step at a time, and then as it grew, that's when the workload grew.
Right.
But you know what? Craig's extremely easygoing, a lot of experience in TV, and we just kept going one step at a time. And it was like the best experience ever.
It was really important at the time, wasn't it? Because the city had not seen anything like that.
Yeah, and you know what? Craig started with the storyline, and we decided when we began 4 pilot seasons, because we weren't sure, and then the storyline had witches and then this other part to it. Eventually we got rid of the witch part of the story. We felt it wasn't working. So the whole project was learning. The writing, editing was no problem for Craig, but I mean, just trying to feel what the public liked and didn't like.
Right.
And so we hoped that we kept improving. That was a goal of ours.
And in terms of managing your time with 5 daughters, it took a lot of time away from your family life. You needed to manage time even better than you were before to carry this out on weekends and make it a right time so people could attend the taping.
Yeah, some of my girls had already moved out and were on their own, but I had 3 still at home, but they were in school, and that was the beauty of this. I could work during the day when they were at school, and then I'd still be free when they came home. But there was a lot of times, and I'm sure you remember this, I would stay up from 11 until 1 in the morning and getting all the emails out to everybody. So when they woke up in the morning, there'd be an email saying, are you available for this date to film?
Right.
So I would be able to work around my own hours, and it didn't matter if it was early afternoon or late at night. It all worked out.
And you were able to, I remember you were driving your daughter to school and this and that and picking up people, and I sometimes say, wow, how would you manage all of that?
Well, you know what, you just do it, and there's a lot of people out there that does it. They multitask, and they have so many things on the go, which I have great respect for everybody that does it, because I'm certainly not the only one that had that too.
Exactly. Stay right there, Tami. We're going to take some commercial messages, and we'll be right back with ONNPoint live on ONTV.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back to a special edition of On Point, a Christmas edition with my friend Tami Rydall. We're talking a lot of things, soap opera and a lot of different things. We're having fun here. We're glad you're with us live on TV, live on Facebook. Before the commercial, Tami, you mentioned there are still 4 episodes of the soap opera that will be shown.
Well, yes, we've had a great run at this. It's with great regret that I have to say this, and Craig and I have had many discussions.
This is breaking news now, mind you.
Kind of, yes, because we're going into and I don't want to say the F word, and the F word is final. We're going to be...
I'm devastated.
So am I. We're going to be airing our last 4 brand new episodes this winter here on TV and Shaw, but... so it's been difficult to make that decision.
Shaw Spotlight, yeah, they changed their name again.
Yes, and it's been difficult for Craig and I to make that decision, and it's really bothersome, but we're on another project right now, and we just don't have time.
Yeah, I remember I've talked to you time and time again, and you were always optimistic that you'll get her started again this year.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean, soap operas, it means that maybe it's not over, which is what I said to Craig, because a soap opera can always start again, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Look at Dallas, it came back.
Yeah, you never know.
You have such a great attitude in life, never give up, and I have it also. How has that benefited you in life?
Well, I just believe that being positive and thinking positive, that, positive things happen in your life. And not that it's been easy, because even with my positive thinking, a lot of times when I thought something was going to happen, it didn't. So there's a lot of disappointments. But if you don't keep that positive mindset, then you can get discouraged. And I just have always been a person that promotes that. And I can see the good in people, and I can see the good in my girls. And I just always want it to be so positive and encouraging people. Don't give up in life. So especially being a mother, if I gave up, what would I be teaching them? But I just know in my gut that if you keep believing, eventually
you've been
something's
such
gonna work
an
out.
inspiration to some of your friends who I won't mention any names, but who have been going through hard times. You've always told them, don't give up. There's always something better.
Yes,
At the end of the line, at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, and there usually always is. In life, there's ups and downs. And when you're in a down, you don't think it could get better. And I've been there myself. Everybody has.
Right.
But you know what? If you keep seeing and looking up to the stars, sometimes it's that simple. And knowing it's going to get better. And you have to believe in yourself. And you have to keep thinking positive, because that's what you want to encourage in your life. Positive things coming into it.
Right.
So, it takes a lot of strength to do that. And it's something that you work at every day.
It does, yeah. What was your greatest thrill in 2019, Tami? Do you have anything that stood out in the last year?
Besides being so proud as a parent, I had an opportunity that came to me in 2019, and it is in media. Craig Huckerby and I have been working part-time here and part-time in Toronto on a documentary, and it has been an incredible journey, and I'm so grateful every day that I've had this opportunity.
Do these things kind of, from my experience, they come when you least expect it, Was that true in your case?
Absolutely, because media is what I love. Craig has been so busy with On TV, then we hadn't been able to continue with the Tami show. We were kind of in a hiatus, you know. And then I was thinking, what's going to happen to me? I love media, but is it kind of done? Right. And so when I was thinking, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue in this, I had a phone call last February and it changed. And it wasn't, I didn't expect it to come. And although
there was no indication that it would come.
Absolutely not. Although I always believed that something would come, you know. But when you don't know, and I kind of gave up thinking I'm not going to worry about it, because if it's meant to be, it's going to be meant to be. And the phone call came in February, and it's been an incredible opportunity. And
you, people shouldn't give up, because that's exactly what happens.
Well, and it doesn't matter your age, because I'm 58 now, and you know, it doesn't mean that when you get older that opportunities aren't going to come. So, you know, never give up, no matter your age at all.
But connections are important, though.
Connections are, yes.
It gives you a faster track to get things done.
Yeah, and
usually.
This opportunity was a connection from way back in my childhood that I didn't expect would happen.
From a lot further back than you thought.
Well, the person that is the producer, it's somebody that I knew when I was very young.
Right. If you could do anything over in life, what would that be, Tami? Is there anything that you say, oh...
That's a loaded question, Andy.
No. You know, we all have things that we're not perfect, but we have things is there anything you would do
that I would do over? You know, I've thought about that myself, and I've thought about it. I've been empty nester since September, and it's given me a lot of time to think about things. And to answer that question is, would I do anything over? And I came to the conclusion, no, because that was my life path, I guess, in life.
And it was your destiny.
And you know what? One can't live with regret, because looking back into my life and everything that I've walked, it made me the person I am today. So I don't have any regrets, and I feel very grateful that everything that I did encounter and live, that I think of it as something positive now, because it made me the person I am. And for that, I have to be thankful for.
Well, that's right. That's the key in life. People don't realize it's as simple as every day you wake up, it's like a light switch. You have a choice, either be positive or negative.
Yeah,
you make that choice in the morning.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not old, but just every day is a gift. And you know, when you can wake up and you have your health, I mean, what more can you complain about?
Exactly. Have your friends teach you stuff? Is there anything that you've learned from your friends?
Oh my goodness.
To be a better person?
Absolutely.
We can learn from our friends, can't we?
Yes, absolutely. I have learned my entire life from my high school girlfriends, and we're still friends today. Each and every one of them has made such a huge influence in my life and taught me so many life skills and how to handle life as well. And you know, everybody needs their girlfriends, you know, and males need their friends too, to have people to confide in and learn from. But I've also learned from my children. As a parent, we think that we're teaching our children, but in return, my children have taught me so much, and they've inspired me. And I'm like so proud of them, because I have 5 strong women, and they've taught me a lot as well.
Exactly. People shouldn't have blinders on, tunnel vision. Always keep your eyes open and learn from other people. Acting, what is the greatest benefit that acting has given you in life? The process of acting in the soap opera.
The process of acting in the soap opera absolutely gave me confidence, because it was something that I, as you know, had absolutely no experience. And I know I wasn't good, but like I said, I chose to learn in front of everybody. But during that process, it gave me confidence, because it didn't matter. It used to bother me that, like I'm not doing that great. But then I grew confidence, and I started to think really positive about it, because how many people get this opportunity? Exactly. I'm very fortunate, and I'm getting an opportunity here, and it gave me confidence, and it gave me so much joy to see what it did for our cast members as well.
Exactly. It did. I mean, you were the star of the soap opera.
Well,
Nobody, you led by example.
Well, and as you know, Andy, as I said this on set many times, I don't believe in that. I believe that I was not the star. Everybody worked together, and we were all the same.
Right. Well, in our remaining minute, is there anything one that you've learned in life that you would pass on to others every day, that never give up, or is there anything you'd pass on to the viewers watching right now in life?
It is, and you just said it. What I have said to my children and what I continue to say to myself is never give up. Anybody that knows me knows I always say, just don't give up in life, because there's something coming, and that's even if the sun comes out and you're healthy. Sometimes it's small things, it's not always big things, and it's, appreciating your family. And, at Christmas, I'm all about having my family in and good food and visiting and having time. Time is important to me now.
Tami, thank you so much for coming into the show. I've really enjoyed it. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after these messages.
This is On TV.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room, create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
Welcome back to ONNPoint. We're live on TV, live on Facebook, and it was great. Thank you so much, Tami Rydall, for coming in. The best of ONNPoint's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Tara Maskahevich, Katie Elliott, Jessica Tett, and this show will be shown during the holidays. Frank Sarlo tomorrow. Coming up next, Bob Ross. I'm Andy Martins for ONNPoint. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.